from the Caesars Palace Sports Pavilion in Las Vegas, Nevada. Holyfield or Dokes, a date with destiny. Tonight, it's the Continental Americas Heavyweight Championship with fast-rising heavyweight Evander Holyfield against former WBA heavyweight champ Michael Dokes. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape. Dokes is 4 years older than Holyfield. Dokes with the half-inch height advantage. Dokes at 225, 20 pounds lighter than when he began his comeback a little over 2 years ago. Holyfield trimming down to 208. He was 210 his last fight. Dokes the half-inch reach advantage. Evander Holyfield, 20-0 with 16 knockouts. His toughest test to date against Michael Dokes, the former WBA heavyweight champion. Dokes said he's going to come right out, look for the knockout. And Evander Holyfield says he's just going to apply pressure. The fact that this fight is for the WBC Continental Americas title is almost irrelevant. Of much greater significance, the boxing future of two men at stake. Dokes looking to avoid fading into obscurity. Holyfield out to show the boxing world that he is Mike Tyson's next opponent.
Well, they certainly have lived up to their billing. Very heavy shots to the body by Dokes. And Holyfield is responding 2 punches to 1.
Evander Holyfield in the blue trunks with the white trim. Michael Dokes in the white trunks.
Oh, 2 good shots, but they were low by Dynamite Dokes, and Steele says keep them up.
Dokes looking to go toe-to-toe from the outset.
Oh, Holyfield standing right in front of him, although Ludu was screaming, turn him, turn him.
Holyfield said he is not obsessed with KOing Dokes. He just wants to win.
Dokes keeps landing those very low punches. It's beginning to bother Holyfield, who keeps pulling his trunks up.
Ludu says the key word here for Evander Holyfield is respect, especially at the start. Holyfield has to go after Dokes early because Dokes intends to come out punching, and Dokes will figure, hey, he's just a light heavyweight.
Well, it's in Dokes' favor. They're getting a punch out, and they are in a punch out. Holyfield's superior reflexes are evident right now, though. One thing that was supposed to happen was the fast hands of Dokes should neutralize the superior reflexes of Holyfield. That has not happened right now.
Well, there's no denying the skills of these two fighters. Ludu told me this fight will come from the gut.
Well, it's going to the gut because Dynamite is working hard. Dokes working hard on the body of Holyfield. Holyfield coming back with serious punches to the head.
Now Dokes spinning Holyfield around, but Richard Steele breaks him up. The odds on this fight began at 9-1 favoring Holyfield. This morning, it was 3.5 to 1. Big left by Holyfield.
Holyfield is honing in right on Dokes' open face, and he's landing solidly. Dokes, for his part, is trying to get down into the body to put some hurt on the much lighter Holyfield.
Less than 30 seconds in the opening round, scheduled for 12. And Dokes suffering from the apparent low blow.
And now it's Dokes who got a low blow. There's a timeout. There's going to be a timeout to recover. Now that's ironic because the entire first round had been low blows to Holyfield. But Holyfield, his punch was to an area where when the protector slides over, it hurts. It's hit right in what's called the groin area. He now has 18 seconds time to recover this timeout. When they come back, it's 18 seconds. He should be able to continue. He certainly will be able to continue for 18 seconds.
Dokes takes a big deep breath, has blood coming from the lower lip, and continues. The words respect coming from the corner of Evander Holyfield.
And he certainly has gotten that. Holyfield is just teeing off on Dokes' exposed face. Dokes trying to outspeed him but can't. Oh, another low blow by Dokes.
And that is it for round 1. Action-packed.
Get beautiful out there. Okay, Charlie. Second round. Beautiful. Okay.
God said us trying to quit on you.
Get on the side. He's got to talk. Go ahead, George.
All right, now listen. Now the fight is on top now.
Come on, Mike. You got to
Don't
get
get
your
hit
jab
with
off.
the right hand. You got no reason to get hit with that right hand. Get underneath it. Come up with your left hook to the body. All right?
Come on, Mike.
All
Come
right?
on, Mike.
All right, baby.
Don't let him back you up. You got to go full forward on him.
We'll take a look at the low blow by Holyfield.
That certainly was south of the border. Now, they can call time, which they did. They have a normal amount of time. That could be a minute. That could be 2 minutes. That could be at the discretion of the referee. Certainly not longer than 2 minutes, at which time the fight either continues, he's disqualified, or he loses.
Round 2 scheduled for 12.
Well, that first round lived up to everything both fighters told us they were going to do. Both tried to establish superiority. Both tried to get respect. And both landed low punches.
And they come out with a furious exchange to begin the second. A solid right that landed by Holyfield to the head of Dokes. Oh, and Dokes landed. Might have been a low blow. A right by Holyfield and a left by Holyfield to the head. Now another right by Holyfield.
Holyfield landing clean blows to the head of Dokes. Dokes concentrating on the body and leaving his head wide open. That first round was a blazer, and this is a corker opening up from the second round. Look at the body shots that Dokes is putting in. At 20 pounds more, he wants to wear out Holyfield. He wants to get him down off his horse, and he wants to pound him as the rounds progress.
Evander Holyfield built like a football linebacker, trimming down to 208 for more quickness against the 225-pound Michael Dokes. Holyfield actually looked like he was upset, angry at the low blows earlier.
Dokes giving no motion whatsoever, standing right in front of Holyfield. Holyfield can take his shots, give angles, and not get hit in return.
Holyfield looking to establish his left jab, which is probably his best weapon.
Neither one of these men look like they expect to be here 12 rounds. Both of them are going for early knockouts here as they continue to zing very hard punches.
Combination by Holyfield, but they didn't land. Holyfield trying to prove to the boxing world that he has knockout power. He didn't say publicly that he'd like to KO Michael Dokes, but you have to figure deep down inside he would like to prove a point.
Well, Dokes has got concrete in his chin, and he's got a huge heart. Nothing wrong with that. It's his legs south of the border that are in question, but he's been known to take some great shots by heavy punching heavyweights. Can Holyfield's shots be enough to stop Dokes? That's what we're going to find out.
Low blows again by Dokes. The voice of Lou Duva, get that respect. To the head goes Dokes, and those punches connected. Holyfield misses with a left.
Holyfield's left hook after right cross is a thing of beauty. He's been missing it, but it's getting closer and closer. Those are the knockout punches when they land. After a combination, that left hook is usually kiss off. That's the one that knocks you out.
And that is it for round 2. This fight at a furious pace.
Started out fast. They tried to establish superiority. Neither one established a big superiority, although in rounds, I certainly have Evander Holyfield winning the first 2 rounds by a very, very narrow margin. But he's ahead 2018 quite unofficially on my scorecard.
Lay down and go to the body, okay? You know, two work all day long on him. Either hook or right hand, all right?
Come on, Mike. Don't pull up.
And let's see if this is a low blow by Dokes. Indeed.
That has been happening all during the first 2 rounds. Discombobulating Evander Holyfield, who's getting more and more exasperated by these blows, and no warnings from Richard Steele.
Come on.
Round 3 scheduled for 12. The stakes are high tonight, but they're higher for Evander Holyfield. Both have a lot to gain, but Holyfield risking his status as Mike Tyson's ultimate opponent.
Now for once, all of a sudden, Dokes trying to out-jab Holyfield. Marty's mouthpiece just fell out.
It's Dokes. It's Dokes' mouthpiece. Dokes pouring in, going to the body. Holyfield, his quickness, able to elude those punches. Holyfield smiles at Dokes, saying, "I'm okay. You didn't hurt me."
But those punches that land to the arms and body, you're going to be able to tell the effect of those in another few rounds. He's now landing flush to the face as Dokes. Back comes Holyfield with some good shots to the head.
Oh, a crisp right uppercut by Holyfield. Dokes without the mouthpiece.
Dokes has opened up differently this round, going to the head, building up an early lead as punch after punch rains on Holyfield without an answer.
If this fight goes beyond 4 or 5 rounds, stamina will begin to play a role.
Well, that's what Dokes is counting on with his early attack. Hard attack to the head of Holyfield, who's not fighting back. He's standing still, taking these shots from Dokes, and that can't be good, folks.
Holyfield looks a bit frustrated.
Not only frustrated, he looks tired and he looks a little hurt.
He's been tagged. He has been rocked by Michael Dokes. Here the third.
Dokes switching to the head has surprised Holyfield, who's taking big shots.
Combination by Dokes.
Big punishment by Dokes on Holyfield, who doesn't seem to come back with his own attack.
That left was a grazing punch by Dokes.
But it was a great thought. A left hook just as Holyfield came in. If he caught him, he would have been on the seat of his pants.
Dokes showing a lot of heart.
That's what you're seeing. All the heart in the world is coming out of Dokes as he wants to win a round and begin to establish his mastery.
Michael Dokes fighting most of this round without the mouthpiece. There was a great cross by Holyfield that landed.
Now it's Holyfield on the attack, and now it's Dokes taking a breather.
Dokes tiring here towards the end of round 3.
He's put in a very heavy round of punching. He should post the rest of the round. I'm sure he will.
Apparently a winning round for Michael Dokes. Final seconds, round 3. The frantic action rages on.
This guy's dead. This guy's dead. Now listen. Now look. Go to the body. Go to the body. Now listen, don't be, what are you getting hit with them punches for? You got no business getting with them punches. Now go to that body, you understand? Right? Now look, take your time. Don't throw yourself away, you understand? But stay close and punch.
Amen.
Trust me. Let your hands go and leave it right.
We'll take a look at the flurry from round 3.
Well, this was the attack that Evander finally launched, only after being pummeled for the first 2.5 minutes by Dokes, who came out, switched to the head, and was landing clean shots to the head of a bewildered Evander Holyfield. I don't think he has had this kind of a test in many fights, and he is getting a little frustrated.
Certainly not as a heavyweight. 91-year young Marty Pops Cohn has never taken a plug nickel from Michael Dokes. He didn't have to. He owned a coal mine, then sold it. He doesn't need Dokes' money. Dokes says he loves Marty Cohn more than anyone else in the world, with the exception of his mom. Dokes does not seem to be affected by the punches of Evander Holyfield as we enter round 4.
Well, that's been what we're here to prove. Has Holyfield got a heavyweight punch? He's certainly been landing shots that would have hurt a lesser opponent than Michael Dokes. Like those right there. 2 or 3 jabs and a beautiful right hand. But back comes Dokes with that patented body attack. A lot of punches south of the border.
Well, so far this fight living up to reputation, it has been explosive.
Dokes just doesn't pardon Holyfield. Anytime he gets in close, he gets a body shot for his trouble. Holyfield opens his round as he closes first and second, doing most of the leading, as Dokes has chosen right now to take another breather. Could be this toll is getting to Dokes as well.
Go back to the jab, says the Holyfield corner. And the jab gets in.
They traded jabs. Dokes missed his. Holyfield did not. Oh.
Holyfield goes to the body.
Holyfield boxing much better while he's on the attack and initiating the action. He's faster than Dokes, but when Dokes starts, then it's a different ball game. Holyfield appears confused and flustered.
It appears as if Holyfield has now gone to more finesse, more footwork. He's bouncing around a lot more now.
I think he wants to take a breather from all of this hot and heavy in the trenches action, and that's the way to do it. Bounce around. He's got young legs. He can do it. You notice that Dokes is nailed to the canvas. He does not bounce around. He just stands still.
I would say this crowd is split in terms of the popularity for these two fighters. Right down the middle.
I think both the favorites of the crowd, and certainly sentimental favoritism for Michael Dokes, who has come back from sheer hell to be a contender for the title.
Two great stories. The former Olympian of the blue trunks, Evander Holyfield, one of boxing's consummate gentlemen out of the ring, against a man who battled back from a severe cocaine addiction, Michael Dokes, who lost to Jerry Coetzee, his only defeat, admittedly under the influence of cocaine. And then he straightened his life out, went to drug rehab, and he is 8-0 since the comeback. Will follow Evander Holyfield, the challenger for this Continental Americas heavyweight title.
That man going and hit this guy in the body a lot. Now look, now don't let him out hustle you on the inside. Just keep your hands moving, right?
And his manager, Ken Sanders, who is also known as the chief executive officer for Team Holyfield. And a big, deep breath from Mr. Sanders.
Keep that good defense. When you catch punches, come back to the body.
All kinds of celebrities in the crowd tonight here at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. A pair of daredevils, Evel Knievel and his son Robbie. Robbie will attempt to jump the fountains in front of Caesars Palace on his motorcycle, a feat his father tried in '67, and rearrange practically every bone in his body. It'll be televised as a pay-per-view special live on April 14th. Round 5, it's scheduled for 12. It's been a good one.
Dokes reestablishing his mastery in that last round. I'm sorry, not Dokes. Evander Holyfield reestablishing his mastery by, again, a very slim margin, as Dokes had to rest after that big round he had in the third.
This has got to be, without question, Holyfield's most difficult test since he fought Dwight Muhammad Qawi in the first of those two. That came in '86 in what many consider the fight of the year. Richard Steele, the third man of the ring.
Blissful respite after that severe action. Dokes is trying to lure him into a trap in the Holyfield, thinking everything is quiet, and then coming in with those heavy body shots. What a well-conditioned athlete as Holyfield. He's taking body shots that should make him crawl around the ring, and yet no effect on Holyfield.
Part of Holyfield's strategy to turn Dokes around. You might be able to hear in the background Lou Duva, George Benton yelling, turn him around, turn him around. So far, this round, he's had difficulty doing that.
Come on, keep it in front, keep it in front. Let's go.
No question, both men are tired. Neither man leading in this round. Good shots by Dokes, catching Holyfield on the ropes.
And Dokes is 225 pounds, leaning on Holyfield.
That's a good strategic move by Dokes. He should be using that big weight to maul and confuse and frustrate. Oh, he's gotten hurt. He's got Holyfield hurt.
He's got Holyfield in some trouble here. He landed to the face.
Holyfield winced from that shot. Maybe got a thumb in the eye, but his legs went wobbly. He's back now, but boy, for a split second there, it looked like it was bye-bye time for Holyfield.
Keep him up, keep him up.
Dokes continues to use the pressure and lead. Uppercuts to the head, snapping Holyfield's head back. Now Holyfield turns Dokes around, but Holyfield comes back with an uppercut.
It It's Dokes' fight to push him, to push Holyfield into the ropes. Now look who's stronger. Holyfield just puts the 20-pound heavier Dokes back like if he was a sack of flour. He did it again just then. That's the strength of this young Holyfield. Strong and well-conditioned.
Holyfield landing with uppercuts to the stomach of Dokes.
Oh, good uppercut by Holyfield, but not enough to win that round, which Dokes took from him in a blistering attack along the ropes.
This was the first time when Dokes had Holyfield in trouble. Remember this when he winced.
That was big trouble, and he was wincing. He was trying to clear his head, and of course, with the stamina of youth and resiliency, he came back, but he was not the same fighter for the rest of that round. Dokes doesn't have the spring in his legs that he had as a young man, or else he would have been pushing Holyfield into the ropes and taking advantage. From the waist up, it's the old Dokes, and from the waist down, it's old man time.
Action from later in that 5th round.
Keep your back off the ropes.
Some crunching blows to the ribs by Dokes.
You
got to be busy.
They're taking in the battle. You got to
Lean on him in time.
Don't let this son of a bitch back you up.
Round 6 scheduled for 12. Dokes really being exhorted by his corner, Bill Slayton, Sterling McPherson. Dokes in the white, Holyfield in the blue. Holyfield doubling up on the jab. And then the right.
No question, this corner sent him out to win this round. They said, hey, you blew that last one.
If not the fight, Holyfield pressing the attack.
What zinging punches from Holyfield right at the opening bell and landing on Dokes, but back comes Dokes. His corner doesn't want to see this fight get close, but it is close. I have it 48-47, favor of Evander Holyfield. Again, I caution you, quite unofficially. However, just when Holyfield looks like he's going to pull it out, back comes Dokes with a big round. Right now, it's Holyfield that's on top of this round.
Dokes has said on repeated occasions he does not want this fight to fall into the hands of the judges because he feels he's the bad boy of Las Vegas. He feels the judges here don't like him.
1 point away from Dokes.
You okay?
A low blow takes a point away from Michael Dokes, and that could loom very significant.
Very, very big in a close fight. Unfortunate. That means Dokes better win this round, or else he'll have a 2-point deficit in this round. And so far, he was behind. It will also change his... Oh, great left hook right on the jaw of Evander Holyfield without effect. Oh,
And he comes back, there's Holyfield with a right cross to the head of Dokes.
and lands right on the jaw. Boy, what a jaw on Dokes. Both these guys are pummeling each other.
There's the left jab by Evander Holyfield. Oh, a right by Dokes that sent Holyfield reeling backwards.
Holyfield does not look happy right now.
He's trying to get some zing back. But Holyfield continues to land with those short, crisp punches inside. Big wild miss by Dokes. He was going for the KO punch there.
But he did the shoe shine. 4 or 5 quick punches underneath and then up over. But those punches landed on the exposed stomach belly of Holyfield, so those are points.
No Nova in the corner of Evander Holyfield. Holyfield sends Dokes back.
But only after taking a 3-punch combination, that was the thing of beauty. Both guys scoring heavily in that exchange.
Furious exchanges since round 1.
When they get in close, Dokes is throwing a mean left hook. Most of the time it misses, but boy, what effect it has when it lands.
Good defensive job there by Dokes. The stop those punches by Holyfield. Final seconds of round 6. And after the bell, they continue to go at it.
Come here. I don't want that no more, okay?
I detected an apology by both Dokes and Holyfield there as Dokes went to sit down on his stool. They gave each other a little tap there.
Bad gut. Now look, on that gut. What round is it?
But things really turning ugly at the end of round 6. Dokes cut over the left eye. His cut man is Tommy Gallagher, so he goes to work.
It was an even round, but they took a point away, so that makes it.
Let's see the end of round 6. We'll see if we can. There was the bell, and there are the extra punches.
I don't think these two guys are any Durans. They're both gentlemanly fighters. That was just a mistake of not hearing the bell. That was a curious round, and they took 1 point away, and somehow Dynamite managed to have, Dokes managed to have an even round so that he only lost 1 point. I still have it 58-56. Evander Holyfield ahead by 2 points, quite unofficially.
Round 7 scheduled for 12. Blood on the trunks, the white trunks of Michael Dokes, very evident. It's from above his left eye. Oh, and there goes the mouthpiece of Dokes again. Holyfield trying to take advantage. But Dokes is the man punching.
Dokes was severely hurt. He's fighting back on guts now. He was severely hurt. If Holyfield can mount this attack, he may end this now.
Dokes will not let Holyfield mount a barrage.
That was just pure heart on the part of Dokes. He was severely hurt. He's still hurt.
Combination by Holyfield to the face of Dokes. Now Dokes comes back with a combination. And now there's some blood around the left eye of Holyfield. I don't know if that's Dokes' blood, though.
No, it's been puffing up. It's been puffing up, and it may start to crack up a little bit. It is not significant at this time. But Dokes is still there, tired as he is, and whipped as he is this round. He is still there, and he's got enough guts to hide his feelings from Holyfield. There he is, coming back with more. There's nothing on those punches, but he is punching, making Holyfield stop.
Dokes is not favored, even though he's the champion. But he and his manager, Marty Cohen, are used to the long odds.
Cut on the left eyebrow of Michael Dokes, and that may be what they're looking for. No, they're looking at a glove that has some loose tape, but there is a small cut, not bad, on the left brow of Michael Dokes. I thought maybe they're calling the doctor over to look at that, which would have been premature.
But a welcome breather for both fighters.
Much better for Dokes than for Holyfield. I mean, Dokes could stand some more of that tape on there.
As the blood streaks from over the left eye of Dokes.
Work your way out. Let's go.
What an exchange there. A big shot by Holyfield, who opens up. And Dokes remains on his feet. I don't know how.
And that tape is still going. It's going to give him another rest. It's going to give him another rest. The referee looks at it and decides not to step in. I don't know why, because that tape can be dangerous.
Dokes taking unbelievable punishment.
Major league punishment from, there's the timeout again. Major league punishment from Evander Holyfield. That's for the tape.
But you've got to wonder why Dokes is still standing. And it has to make you wonder about the power of Holyfield's punches.
Hey, that's a grand old equation of boxing. It's either one guy hasn't got that much punch or the other guy's got a King Kong jaw. In this case, a little both, because Dokes has always been known to take a tremendous shot. And Evander Holyfield has knocked out the last 3.
Ken Sanders, the manager of Holyfield, looking concerned.
Concern is a small word etched on the face of Ken Sanders.
Should we go for worried? As you see, the blood, as Holyfield came right in after the tape was fixed on Dokes' glove. Holyfield landing with a short right. There's another right by Holyfield. A left by Holyfield, tagging Dokes, who stays up and continues to throw punches.
Dokes is taking punches. It's incredible. No human being should stand up from that. Those are wound up from left field, from the parking lot. What a round for Holyfield.
Incredible round.
Always look to the corner.
And the big crowd here at Caesars Palace Sports Pavilion saluting these two fighters. And they go right to that cut.
Let me rinse them out, please, man.
He comes in strong.
Evander Holyfield with an assortment of flurries in that 7th round. And let's take a look at one of them.
The thing about these punches is that Holyfield is putting his whole body, turning his whole body into the punch, just like they teach you to do, and it's landing. Look at that shot to the body of Dokes. And Dokes, remember, fights back. He's not just saying, look at that shot. That's enough to drop anybody. And a hook comes back and another right hand. That's enough to drop people, folks. Those are heavyweight punches from big guys winding up.
As we head into round 8, scheduled for 12, Steve Alvin and the Fight Doctor, Ferdy Pacheco in Las Vegas. This has been a monstrous battle. Holyfield in the blue, Dokes in the white.
So Dokes is now battling back from a point. Oh, look at Dokes go.
Michael Dokes landing to the head of Holyfield.
Opening up the round to get a little respect from Holyfield and break up his attack. Not wanting to stand there from those and receive more cannon shots. He opened up in flurries. That puts Evander in a different mood.
And Dokes was hitting in retreat.
Let's go. Protect yourself.
Michael Dokes predicted this would be a war, and it's coming to fruition.
Well, he's fighting under disadvantages now. First, he has 1 point off. Second, he has got low blows, which will accumulate to the point where another point can be taken off with no trouble. Then he's getting pummeled by Holyfield. And last but not least, he's got a cut over the eye. A lot of stuff to worry about while you're trying to take care of this young kid.
Yet somehow surviving it all.
Beautiful, beautiful uppercuts by Holyfield with no effect. Again, with that big round by Evander Holyfield, I have him ahead 68 to 65. Again, unofficially, this has been a ding-dong battle. Remember, one of those rounds could easily be a 10-8 round because they took a point away from Dokes.
Now, Michael Dokes on the attack. Dokes with a left, but Holyfield may have blocked it. Dokes senses something now, perhaps.
Yeah, Holyfield's not in the best shape of his life just now.
Holyfield may be in some trouble.
Every time he gets him on the ropes, that superior weight, that pulling and pushing takes right hand.
A twisting right by Dokes, a combination by Dokes. Holyfield comes back with a left.
Holyfield coming back with everything he's got. A lot of guts to Holyfield because he's been hammered. He's throwing everything in those punches. And they are landing. What a round. It doesn't seem possible the two heavyweights could pound each other this way without effect. It's Dokes that's beginning to wear out, but he's had a big lead in this round.
And a right by Holyfield, followed by a right by Dokes, and then Dokes' head is snapped back off the combination. Holyfield throwing everything in his arsenal. Final seconds of round 8.
What a round this has been. It's all been Dokes at the beginning and then all Holyfield at the end. Both men getting each other in trouble. What a round.
The crowd is standing here at Caesar's Palace. A candidate for round of the year.
Get the mouthpiece.
Right? So you don't get hit with none of them wild ass swings he's throwing, right? Now look, Holyfield.
Look at the punishment these two men are inflicting. These are Dokes' big moments. The first 2 minutes belong to Dokes. And then, if there was anybody in the audience that doubted Holyfield's heart and courage, he came back and took that last minute. I gave that round to Dokes very close again. Remember, these rounds are just seesawing so close. Both men are landing effective punches. Both men are hurting each other, and yet Holyfield still stands there. Nobody has ever questioned Michael Dokes' heart, but until this fight, we didn't know what kind of guts Holyfield had. Well, we're learning.
Look at the expression on the face of Holyfield as he came out. As we begin round 9, it is scheduled for 12. Can they pick up would seem unlikely. How do you keep that pace going?
You don't. The answer is who's going to wear out first, and when you got a young, strong man against an old, strong man, young always wins that equation.
And the inside fighting.
And I'll tell you one thing right now, both these men would give Tyson a good battle. I mean, both of them, if they come in this kind of condition with this kind of heart, it would be a very interesting bout with Mike Tyson.
Boxing experts, as you see Marty Cohn, the manager of Michael Dokes, in the lower left-hand corner. Experts figure Tyson and Holyfield will be slow in developing, or even Dokes and Tyson. Tyson will probably milk his status at the top, follow Don King's itinerary, get some big paydays fighting journeymen, but eventually he will have to meet up with one of these two.
He can meet up with both of them. At the way this fight is going, you know, when you have a fight like this, there really are no losers, because they both have proved that they are in championship contention, and barring a knockout, at the rate they're going, either one or both could be lined up for Tyson.
Past the midway point, round 9.
In the meantime, we have had a peaceful round, if you can call it. If you can call this mayhem peaceful, this has been a peaceful round compared to those, because they had to rest. They have to rest.
Perhaps the fighters are just looking for a second wind to keep it going. Now Holyfield spins Dokes around.
You notice there has been precious few clinches. Oh, big breath from Dokes, like saying, whoa, how much longer to the end of this round? The cut taken good care of in the corner of Dokes is not a factor. Although it's bleeding, it is not a factor.
Good job by Tommy Gallagher.
Both men are just whiling away this round.
Which might mean we ain't seen nothing yet from 10 through 12. Under 30 seconds in the ninth. A right by Holyfield, but didn't seem to bother Dokes that much.
Dokes had just landed a couple of good shots himself, so it sort of neutralized each other.
And that is it for the ninth round. Relatively speaking, they cruised through that round.
I think they had to rest. That's called a convalescent round, because both guys were so exhausted from the feverish pace of the 8th round that they had to take it easy, particularly Dokes, who seems to be wearing out on a faster clip than the younger and better conditioned Evander Holyfield. But I'm impressed again. I have to say it again. I cannot begin to tell you that there was so much doubt about the heart of Holyfield. Had all these easy fights. Yeah, what happens when he gets in with a tough guy and he goes to round 6, 7, and 8? Well, as far as I can see, what's happening is we've proved once and for all that Evander Holyfield has got a truckload of guts. I mean, he hangs in there, he doesn't quit, and he's getting hammered. On to round 10, and these next 3 should be crucial.
And here we go. Some thunderous shots in this fight, landed by both fighters. Holyfield in the blue, Dokes in the white. There's another right by Holyfield that landed, and Dokes comes right back.
Holyfield is no doubt about it. Got his gas back in the tank and ready to go. He's put it in gear because he came out solid punching. Dokes is still in slow motion. He is not eager to press forward against a bouncing Holyfield.
Again, this somewhat reminiscent of the Holyfield-White Muhammad Kawi fight, when Holyfield stopped the former light heavyweight cruiserweight champ in the 4th round.
The weary legs of Michael Dokes can't get him there. They just can't get him into punching range.
And fight fans all over the world enjoying this action, not only here in the United States, but this broadcast going to 16 different foreign lands, like England, France, Spain, Japan, Venezuela, Australia, Austria, South Africa, Holland, Thailand, Panama, and on and on.
Dokes just wants to invite Holyfield to come into his parlor and stand still to punch there, because he just doesn't have the legs to get away from him or to get to him. It's got to be Holyfield's call to come in. Oh, what a Dokes in trouble. Dokes in big trouble.
Michael Dokes staggered.
But fighting back.
He's
terrible shape.
And there he goes into the ropes. Holyfield looks to finish him off. Richard Steele steps in. And Dokes coming towards us. He's down.
He's out.
He's out. It's over. It's all over, says Richard Steele. Evander Holyfield has won it here in the 10th round.
And that was inevitable, but what a fight Michael Dokes put up. It just seemed like he couldn't keep taking those heavy punishing blows. Now with his legs gone, he had no way to absorb the punishment except fully on his face. And of course, he went down along the ropes. Had he not fallen, he would have definitely been counted out. And the referee was definitely, had he not gotten him out, would have stopped the fight. Dokes was not in any condition to go on. So Holyfield answers quite a few questions. Has he got guts? You bet. Can he punch? You bet. And has he got the courage to stay in there with a guy who's got the willpower of Michael Dokes? You bet, you bet, you bet.
Two courageous fighters being saluted here by this capacity crowd at Caesars Palace. Michael Dokes KO'd here in the 10th by Evander Holyfield, who is now 3-0 as a heavyweight and proving that he does have knockout power. Here's the setup punch. It's coming up.
And that's the one that did the damage. It's sort of a left uppercut, a cross between an uppercut and a hook, and it was all over for Dokes. It was just window dressing after that. But even so, Dokes fought back. I mean, where in that massive chest cavity can you find a heart as big as Dokes? Even so, he was fighting back. No legs to keep him up. Nothing to absorb the punch, and he was finished. You see him? He's gone. And, of course, needless to say, the referee over in a minute's over his corner. No problem stopping the fight. Watch this shot. That is just absolutely a beautiful hook. The effect had been building up all night long as Holyfield rained punch after punch on the durable Dokes, who took a long time in leaving.
A dramatic conclusion to an incredible fight.
And I have to come back with the thought, Steve, that off of this fight, Dokes has lost nothing. He has gained stature as an opponent. If he goes back and wins a couple of good fights, he is in position to fight Tyson. I know that sounds ridiculous when a guy gets knocked out, but it's not, given the dearth of heavyweights.
Chuck Hull in the center of the ring has the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 1 minute, 41 seconds of the 10th round. The winner by a TKO and new Continental Americas Heavyweight